Hello, good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, the government sets up a 12-member presidential advisory group to guide the economic policy of the country. Who are these individuals? We will be telling you, plus get to hear from an economist. Also in this bulletin, Social Security and National Insurance Trust (NIT) have salary levels eligible for pension payment at almost 70,000 cedis. Plus, Ghana Export-Import Bank set to provide blended finance to ensure sustainable funding for government Akukon Nkiti program.
On there as Exim Bank to look at the policy framework, to look at government support for their poultry industry and what has enabled Ivory Coast to be able to, as it were, be independent of frozen chicken.
We have details of these and more for you. Please stay on. So much for your time. I am Pius Kojo Baka, and in the last couple of hours, government has inaugurated a 12-member presidential advisory group on the economy composed of enhanced, experienced professionals from academia, public service, and the private sector to provide strategic guidance on Ghana's economic policies. And Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is among the members, alongside respected economist and private sector leader Kwame Mpianin and industrialist Sir Sam Jonah. And my colleague James Ishen joins me in studio to tell us more about these individuals who forms part of the board. James, thank you so much for joining me. Quickly walk us through the list of the members we have.
Well, so it's been chaired by the president himself, that is President John Dramani Mahama, and also the vice president, Dr. Ishmael Yamson, who happens to be a private sector leader, Mr. Kwame Mpianin, Nana Oye Mansa Yeboah, Dr. Kobina Dufour, Sir Samuel, his son, Jonah, and Mr. Atu Brown, who has been with the World Bank, Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa, who was once the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Toby Afede, the chief executive officer for the Ghana Stock Exchange, and also Professor Prisla Chumesi Bafo, who happens to be a university professor and also an economist as well. Absolutely. And finally, Professor Patience Asewa Abo, who also happens to be a lecturer at the University of Ghana.
Great. All right, so we'll have to understand all of these better, and I would like to bring in the Chief Executive Officer of Dalex Finance, Joe Jackson. Thank you so much, sir, for making time to join us here on Business Live. And first off, we want to understand your thoughts about these members. Really, what do you think they bring to the table?
First off, this is an excellent team. This is an A team. This is a team that we are proud providing visory services to the government. And listen, this group, I don't think anybody can complain about the membership of the group, the skills they bring to the visory role they have. It's spread and represented across various facets from the private sector, from the academia. This moment, we can't complain about this group.
What specific economic policy objectives is the advisory group expected to focus on, and how will their recommendations align with the government's overall economic vision?
I don't think that they are going to be limited to one aspect of economic policy. I believe that they would span the whole spectrum. Right? And it's important to understand that when you look at the document, there was no limitation. They're just to advise on economic policy, and economic policy spans a wide range of things. And so my understanding is that they will be looking at what the government is planning to do, what it is doing, and giving advice. That cannot be wrong.
But how will government ensure effective implementation of the advisory group's recommendations, for example, and really what mechanisms will be put in place to monitor progress?
First of all, they are an advisory group. So all they will do is offer advice. The government says, I will listen to your advice. I will listen to what you say. And so let's not elevate this group to become, they're not replacing the Ministry of Finance. They're not replacing the role of the governor of the central bank. They're not replacing any of those. They're not replacing the economic management team. They are just to give voice to concerns across a broad spectrum of things to the government. Can be wrong. And we should, one of the things we shouldn't do is overestimate what they are just advisory. They have no, and when somebody gives you advice, you have a choice to listen to it, on it, to provide feedback, to say, this is what you advised me, this is what I said I will do, this is what I have done. But it's still just advice.
All right, given Ghana's fiscal challenges we have now, what strategies will the advisory group likely propose to enhance revenue mobilization and expenditure management, for example?
First of all, remember that there's a fiscal council. This is not to replace the fiscal council. Some of the things you're asking of come from the fiscal council, and the fiscal council is here to look compliance with the fiscal policy, to look at the sustainability of our debt, to look, those things exist. And so this goes beyond the fiscal council, broader than the fiscal council, and at the same time, it's not supposed to replace the fiscal council, which is something that is set in law we have to abide by. This is just an advisory council.
All right, let's shift focus to one other story also following up for our viewers this afternoon. Now, demand for dollars by businesses continues to increase on the market despite assurances by the BOG that it has adequate dollars to meet their demand. We want to find out what really is fueling this demand and what should BOG be doing?
Well, listen, one of the things that always happens is that there'll be a bit of speculation on the market. So long as BOG meets that speculatory demand within the context of its own targets, then those who are speculating may lose money. I think that what is fueling it now is a bit of speculation that the BOT, the Bank of Ghana, may lose its commitment to the targets it set. But apart from that, I don't think we have enough of a demand that has so suddenly arisen. At the same time, you got to remember that businesses are a lot more hopeful. Businesses are a lot more expectant. There's a lot more investment being done, which means when we talk about investment in the industrial sector, it may be new equipment, it may be raw materials. And so there's some increase in demand that we should expect with the growth that we're experiencing, with the anticipation of businesses that things getting better.
All right, we want to leave the conversation here. The Chief Executive Officer of Delex Finance, Joe Jackson, I'm grateful for having you on Business Live. Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust Net has capped the salary levels eligible for benefit payments for this year at almost 70,000 cedis. And we have more for you in this report.
The development should mean that the application of the Tier 1 calculation to one's salary cannot go beyond the almost 70,000 Ghana cedis. This is what the State Pension Trust has put out when it comes to its maximum insurance earnings, for the year 2026. Based on this new directive, the maximum amount that the Tier 1 pension calculation of 13.5% will apply should not be more than 70,000 Ghana cedis, resulting in a new pension payment of around 9,000 Ghana cedis every month. The initiative is part of the new pension reforms to ensure that managers of the SNIT scheme are able to meet their obligations when it comes to the monthly benefits payment. Currently, the highest person on the SNIT scheme is taking home more than 200,000 Ghana cedis every month. But the State Pension Trust believes that this is not sustainable going forward, hence the need to review this. SNIT has argued that the rest of one's salary can be directed to the Tier 2 and Tier 3 when it comes to contributions for one's pensions. According to SNIT, the new cap amount of 70,000 Ghana cedis represents an upward review from around 61,000 Ghana cedis.
Meanwhile, private sector contributions to the SNIT pension scheme have hit a record level. Now, data from the Bank of Ghana shows that total now stands at 527 million cedis, signaling a positive turn in business activities. More in this report.
A careful look at the data showed that over the past years, contributions have been picking up strongly. In January 2023, it stood under just 300 million Ghana cedis. It has, however, been going up to reach this new level, which can be described as the highest over the past 3 years. Again, the total number of private sector persons contributing to the scheme has also been going up significantly over the past 3 years to reach more than 11,000. For a lot of industry persons, it is not just about the contributions going up, but the signals that it will be sending about the state of the private sector. Contributions going up could be described as the private sector recovery. This is because businesses need to be doing well to meet their obligations to the State Pension Trust SNIT when it comes to their contribution. Based on this data, we could also project that businesses have started picking up after years of some challenging times, which resulted in some shutting down their operations, while some moved to lay off some of their workers. Recent data from managers of the SNIT scheme have highlighted the contributions of the private sector that has aided in the sustainability of the scheme going forward. The development has also revealed that businesses have picked up strongly when it comes to employment.
And we've got more for you after this break. Hello, welcome back to Business Live. The Ghana Export-Import Bank is set to provide blended finance to ensure sustainable funding for the government in Nkiti Poultry program. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the Ghana Exim Bank at 10, Chief Executive Officer of the bank, Sylvester Mensah, said the initiative will help grow the poultry sector.
Your program for Akuko Nkiti. And this program is being complemented by all financial institutions. When we talk of blended finance, we are looking at Exim Bank providing low-interest funding, and we are looking at commercial banks and Exim Bank coming together to blend the finance in such a way that the high interest rates of the commercial banks will be tempered by the low rate of Exim Bank in order to provide some level of flexibility. We in Exim Bank have gone ahead to visit some countries that have excelled in poultry, particularly Ivory Coast. In Ivory Coast today, they don't import frozen chicken. Their poultry industry is at its peak, and they produce 100% poultry and chicken that they consume. Ghana wants to get to that stage. Ghana has gone there. We have gone there as Exim Bank to look at the policy framework, to look at government support for their poultry industry and what has enabled Ivory Coast to be able to, as it were, be independent of frozen chicken. And I think that it is the direction. We've taken that trajectory, and we believe that from the experience that we have and from the knowledge we have acquired from many other countries, we will be able to move faster in ensuring that we achieve at least sufficiency in poultry sooner than later.
Now, the World Food Programme, with support from the UK government and key Ghanaian institutions, is piloting a RISE initiative aimed at improving nutrition and learning outcomes for school children across the country. In the Upper West East region, I should say, the BNN Farmers Cooperative Union has received and installed rice fortification equipment supplied by the World Food Programme as part of a broader investment in local production capacity. Albert Sorry reports.
In schools in parts of the Upper East region, an impactful intervention is taking place, one meal at a time. The World Food Programme, with funding from DSM Feminic, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, in collaboration with the Ghana School Feeding Programme, the Ghana Education Service and the Ghana Health Service, has introduced fortified rice into school meals in selected schools. The initiative targets micronutrient deficiencies among school-aged children, particularly in communities where rice is a staple food. Through the addition of essential vitamins and minerals, the fortified rice aims to improve students' health, boost school attendance, and enhance learning outcomes. The Bolgatanga Boko Navrongo, or BBN Farmers Cooperative Union Limited, located at Bogorogo in the Bongo district, is playing a critical role in this program. The cooperative has received and installed rice fortification equipment supplied by the World Food Programme as part of a broader investment in local production capacity.
This one is also part of the WFP support for us to fortify the rice and sell to the schools and then general public. We know that it is a project and it has a time that the project will elapse. They have linked us to the contact where they produce it and how we can get it. So when it expires, because we want to remain the producers of fortified rice, we will also follow the link and then the contacts they have given to us so that we can also build a relationship with where we can get the fortified kernel and then also continue in business with fortified rice.
The equipment enables local millers to blend fortified rice kernels with locally produced rice, ensuring a sustainable supply chain rooted in community participation. Just a few kilometers away in the Anafo BC community, the Lilingo Asongtaba Women Group is also a key actor in the value chain. The group parboils rice, which is then purchased by the BBN cooperative for fortification and onward distribution to schools.
Financial support when we get we want, because normally when we save small in our saving group, when they have to start selling the rice and we have to buy, some of the people need to buy about 100 bucks. And we will not get it that way. And we are 60 in a number. So when we want to buy it plenty and we did not get the money, and we cannot afford to just fetch all the money inside the Dhaka and then go and buy the rice, leaving the children we are supposed to cater for.
The fortified rice eventually finds its way into school kitchens. Under the pilot phase, more than 157,000 students in public schools are being targeted nationwide, with additional reach in low-fee-paying private schools in deprived communities across northern Ghana. The Our Lady of Lourdes Senior High School in Navrongo is one of the beneficiaries of the World Food Programme intervention.
Today, I am here to thank the WFP for bringing us the fortified rice, which is very good and helping the students very much. Most of them used to complain about their eyes that is itching. I myself am even a victim. I used to have itching eyes, but these days, no, it's gone because of the fortified rice. Since we started eating it, it's very good. You can even store some from afternoon to evening and still take it.
A cost-benefit analysis is currently underway, and stakeholders are hopeful the evidence will support scaling up of the program and making fortified rice a standard component of school feeding across Ghana. Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sorry, Bongo.
Away from the Upper East region, let's go to the Upper West region. And Member of Parliament for that part of the constituency, Peter Lanchini-Tobo, says a person's background or percentage should not limit their potential. He believes every individual is born with a unique talent capable of transforming their community. Speaking to about 40 beneficiaries of a youth empowerment initiative in the Wild West district dubbed the Future Today project, which aims at creating employment opportunities, particularly for graduates, Mr. Tobo urged participants to take full advantage of the program to improve their economic well-being. Rafik Salam reports.
The initiative, according to the Wild West Member of Parliament, Superintendent Retired Peter Lanchini-Tobo, is aimed at addressing the unemployment challenge of the people, particularly graduates, upon completion of their courses at the tertiary level. Most of these graduates, who often search for white-collar jobs, ends up with nothing, accompanied with frustration. The Wild West Legislature, 3 months ago, initiated a project codenamed The Future Today. Over 300 people applied to join the project. Out of the number, 40 of them were successful.
Let nobody deceive you that where you were born and who your father is or who your mother is has a limitation on what you can do. Each of you is born with a natural talent, capable of transforming your community. And I came to encourage you, to build you up, to motivate you, to fund your ideas. In the field of innovation, all we say is that there are people with brilliant ideas and they lack funding. And there are also a lot of people with money and they want ideas. So when you put brilliant ideas and money together, you create an innovation. So what I did was to bring you financial support. And I picked your ideas, the best ones, and I'm funding those ideas. And I'm expecting that the future today will actually be made up of great leaders. The future today will be made up of billionaires. And the future today will be made up of people who believe that together we can.
With an initial seed capital of 200,000 Ghana cedis that was rolled out to the 40 beneficiaries, Superintendent Retired Peter Lanchini-Tobo disclosed that many of them have seen the initiative as a good venture, as they have been able to double the money given to them. They are therefore demanding to repay the money now for others to also benefit.
Some had 7,000, some had 10,000, some had 5,000, some had 2,000. But all of them appear to be doing well. The motor mechanics that got money, they buy spare parts. So when you come to repair your motor and there is a part that you need to replace, they take the part from their own shop, replace it for you. You pay for the repairs, the expertise, and then you pay for the part that you bought. And they are doing so well. Some of them have added engine oil to their shops. So you can change your engine oil there and do all kinds of things. So all of them are doing so well. And I'm praying that a lot of them, as 3 months ago, started calling. They want to pay my money back. Because they were doing so well, they want to return my money. But I've told them to be patient. And I've asked them to develop their own payment plan. It's going to be flexible. You want to use 3 months to pay? You want to use 1 year to pay? You want to use 6 months to pay? Let it be your plan, and we'll let you go by it.
Dr. Ziambo offered hospitality management at the Sunyani Technical University and hoped for a white-collar job upon completion. It's been 2 years since he completed the university, and a search for white-collar job has been elusive.
I was
Rafik Salam filed that report. Ending Business Live for today. I am Pius Kojo Baka. See you soon.